Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube page, where I'm continuing my Week 16 NFL previews and predictions, so be sure to check out my other previews. Subscribe to my page also here on YouTube to get all of my daily sports talk videos delivered directly to your inbox. The Philadelphia Eagles will host the upstart Washington Redskins this week from Lincoln Financial Field. It'll be a 1 p.m. start time over on Fox. Washington and Philadelphia, obviously, I think if you told people their records would be flip-flopped at this point in the season, people would have agreed with you at the beginning of the year. But nonetheless, we sit here with Philadelphia coming into today with a record of 4-10, clearly playing for next year at this point. And the Washington Redskins sit at 8-6 in a three-way tie for first place in the NFC East with the Giants and the Cowboys. The equation's simple for Washington, though. You win out, you make the playoffs. Sounds simple. They have games with Philadelphia this week and then home against the Cowboys next week. So by no means an easy road. They'll have to earn their way into the playoffs. And some good news came down for them today, as unless he suffers any more setbacks from now until game time, Robert Griffin will start for the Redskins this week. I just posted a short video on my thoughts on Robert Griffin being cleared to play. Just to quickly summarize them, I'm all for him playing if he's healthy. I hope they tailor the offense so there's a little bit less in the way of planned runs for him. Let him pick his spots running. I think they should move to that strategy as a whole going forward. I think it would really help the long-term productivity of RG3. But in this game, I look for him to be a serious problem for the Eagles defense. I look for also Alfred Morris to be a serious problem for the Eagles defense as well. The Eagles defense is suspect all over the place, but they're especially vulnerable to a good running game because they're smallish up front, and they're definitely vulnerable to people getting out on the edge on them and kind of exploiting matchups with their linebackers. So I look for Washington to totally take advantage of those two things in this game. With RG3 being a little bit banged up, I look for them to get Alfred Morris involved early and try to get him going early. I look for him to have, from 17 to maybe even over 20 carries in this game as they try to really take some of the onus off RG3, at least for this game, while he kind of comes back and rounds back into shape. Also, RG3 is a wonderful player, very high quarterback rating, very high completion percentage for a rookie. But I think regardless, you'll always try to establish the run to give Robert Griffin more favorable down and distances, to make that run or him running the ball still a threat to the defense. 2nd and 3, 3rd and 2, 2nd and 5. Then they have to worry about Alfred Morris, they have to worry about RG3 passing the ball, and they have to worry about RG3 running the ball. A true triple threat that not many teams can handle, and I think is just going to get more formidable as this offense and this team matures the rest of this year and in the coming years as well. I look for Washington's defense. Look, their weak spot is in the secondary as far as the pass yards they allow. Whether Nick Foles can exploit that or not, I'm not sure, because he has weapons, but they've kind of been up and down since he came in the lineup. They didn't look at it all their last game versus the Bengals. So I think Washington will get away with this week with their suspect secondary and pass defense play, just because of the opponent they're playing. The Eagles 4-10. Again, much was expected of them coming into the season. The season's completely unraveled. Without all the drama, they're sort of the NFC version of the Jets, just with a lot more talent. It looks like Michael Vick will be released at season's end. Where does he end up? Will Andy Reid be fired? These are all questions that need to be answered, and it looks like all the things that have been going on with the Eagles all year, whether it's the death of Andy Reid's son, the inconsistent play of Michael Vick, the releasing of Jason Babin, the firing of Juan Castillo. It looks like all these things are catching up to the Eagles, and I think you'll see a team that's sort of beaten down here the next 2 weeks. I think they'll play as hard as they can, but I just think with the players they have in there, right now they don't match up man for man very well with the Redskins. And you got to remember, the Redskins still have so much to play for, while the Eagles are sort of playing out the string. I think the only way the Eagles win this game is if Nick Foles goes completely out of his mind, passing the ball, which is pretty much, I don't really see that happening in this game. I look for Washington to be sparked by the fact that RG3 is back playing. I expect the Eagles to be more competitive than most in this game. which is why the spread right now is Washington -7. So I'll take Philadelphia plus the 7 at home, but I like Washington to win outright. So again, it's Philadelphia, plus 7 at home, but Washington to win outright. And I look for RG3 to not have a spectacular game, but to do enough. And I look for Alfred Morris to have a good game. So I'll take the Eagles again, plus 7. Be sure to check out my other previews here on YouTube, and always catch me on Twitter, @SNewsAnalysis. Thank you.